Hey everybody, welcome to my latest video. Today I'm finally getting around to starting the Nebraska and Vanderbilt rebuilds. I decided to go ahead and do them on the same series, so I have taken over both teams. Nebraska, I'm the head coach, and Vanderbilt, I am the offensive coordinator. I went ahead and set up our custom schedules, the recruiting boards, and everything. I am using Seagator's sliders and a patch for that, which sets a bunch of stuff in the game to make it more realistic. I'm also using Fang's recruiting tool, so the recruiters are the recruits are much better and much more realistic. I've decided the first 3 seasons we're going to sim the games out. I may play them out, but I'm not going to show a lot of gameplay as we build out the roster to our players. Our goal with Nebraska is to win the Big Ten and to win a national championship. We'll probably run a 10-year rebuild. If we win the national championship before that, we'll decide to maybe do a rebuild on a different team or whatever. But we'll decide that when we get there. So to start off with, I'm going to show you where we're at with Nebraska's recruits. We did find quite a few good gems here. We got a 80 overall athlete. He's got 97 carry. He's at the top of our board. I have a feeling this is going to be a running back we want. We want to take Nebraska back into a pound the football, play good defense kind of team. That's what goal we're going to have on the rebuild here. This guy, Terry Boykin, he's a really good corner. He's got 91 zone, 84. Nebraska's got a really weak roster as far as I'm concerned. So we really need to build the speed on this team. So we're curious to see what speed he ends up with. Quarterback, Tyrell Stickle. Waiting to see how he scouts out. Got a 9+ overall here. The nice thing about these the Fangs recruitment tool is you don't know what you're going to get sometimes. We went ahead and kept this guy even though he dropped 7 overall because we need speed badly. We got a couple decent looking halfbacks. We want to have a couple guys that can really pound the ball. Our O-line I think is going to be pretty good, but we're going to keep loading it up. Kind of going through what we got here. We still got to scout a lot of these guys, but I think we're going to be in pretty good shape with our recruiting class now. Most of these guys had us either in the first or second position on their list. Here's a second. So we have a chance to get every one of these guys. I guess first, second, or third. We did go all the way to third. But it's kind of cool with the way this tool works. Oops, I went too far. Sorry about that. If you go in here and look at all prospects, when you sort it out, you'll see that a lot of them have already decided, like Reese here, he has his 93% decided already on Nebraska. So he's a 6'8", 297-pound defensive tackle. He's humongous. So C. Reese. Let's go back. He's a 59 overall. He went down 10 points, but he's huge. So we'll see what he ends up with. We'll keep him on a little longer. But it's kind of cool because a lot of these guys are probably going to decide early, like our corner here. He's 67 overall, but he's pretty much 100% decided on Nebraska already. So that's pretty cool. Let's see here. We didn't redshirt very many players on Nebraska at all. Just guys that we think will help us in 3 years. They do have a couple really good young players. So we got a couple wide receivers we'll try to develop here. They're really not very fast, but we'll see what we can do with them. Middle linebacker. This freshman I think is going to be pretty good. We got to work on getting his speed up a little bit. The free safety here, I really look forward to seeing what this player is going to do. So there's a couple really good sophomores there. Freshman halfback, I don't know if we'll do much with him. Got another one, 6'6", 235-pound tight end with 82 speed. I think we'll be able to develop him. Freshman strong safety with 93 speed from Chicago. He needs to get a little heavier. And a freshman corner is 6'2", 87 speed. Not ideal, but we may end up moving him inside somewhere to safety or something. So that's who we redshirted there. Depth chart. We'll go through it real fast. Casey Thompson's going to be our starter. Johnson, we have terrible speed at halfback. Nebraska's really lacking in speed. Fullback, not much there. Wide receiver, we're hurting for speed. I mean, our impact player, Oliver Martin, is only 82 speed, so it's going to be a tough couple years. Decent tight end, but he's a senior, so we need to replace him. We're going to have an okay line. That's a very slow left tackle, but he's only a sophomore, so we look forward to developing him. 85 strength. Right guard, sophomore. So we're going to have a really good senior class in a couple years on our offensive line. Nelson, senior, we'll be losing him. Sophomore, we really need to rebuild this team. Middle linebacker, we do have a couple younger people. I'll show you the corners real quick. We got one guy with 90 speed. I mean, our number 2 corner's got 72 speed. He's a sophomore. So our sophomore class might end up being pretty decent. They'll be seniors, I guess, in 2 years. So we won't actually be playing with those guys. Now that we're redshirting them, we might get them as seniors, 5th-year seniors in our 3rd year when we get done with our simming. But that's Nebraska's recruiting and depth chart. Redshirt. Now our schedule, went ahead and pretty much left it alone, but we did add Vanderbilt, other teams. So every year that we're doing this rebuild, we're gonna play these two against each other. I will sim that whole game out and post it, so we'll kind of gauge where we're at with our teams there. So we got Wyoming, Southern Miss, non-conference, and UCLA. And then the conference in the Big Ten, we got Illinois, Purdue, Minnesota, Northwestern, Michigan, Michigan State, Penn State, and Iowa. So pretty tough. We didn't draw Ohio State, so we got lucky there, but we pretty much got everybody else. That's the Nebraska side of things. So that's a beginning report. We're going to go ahead and start the season. I'll get into some of the simulations and how our players are going. Probably, I'm not quite sure how we'll report everything yet, but we'll get everything out. Get these sim years over so we can get playing some games. I'll catch you guys in a little while. We'll be back as we get along here.